Had some time over break to screw around a little bit, and I made this snakeskin-ish guitar body. I've been playing around, trying to think about some new and creative ideas, and wanted to show you, I guess, my fail. I really don't like this. I do like the back, but the ridges are a little bit hard. I do like the way I got the coloring. I think that's spot on, but I'm not so sure I like the bit. This is a full 1/8 bit, and it was a flat bottom bit, and it looks less organic. This was my CNC bit. It's one of those bits with the long tip. I really didn't like the way this turned out. It just looks like it's a bunch of circles. It was essentially the same pattern, but with a different bit. And I ran this twice, and I actually even sanded off the top and then put a maple cap on. This maple cap has some figure in it, which it really just doesn't look all that great. So I screw around from time to time. This is one of those bodies I'd say was definitely a fail. Wasn't what I was expecting in my head. I do like the back, so I've got another one coming. But here was my process, just to show you guys where I was at. So I run an Inventables CNC. It's more of a hobby grade machine. This took about 3 hours per side. They have a program called Easel that I imported an image that looked like snakeskin or leather or something along those lines. And then this is the 1/8 bit on the back side that I ran. And I'm not really sure how it decides to do this pattern, but it definitely was not optimal as the bit went all over the place. So I think this was probably about 3 hours in total. And then it left a bunch of fuzz. The bit got dull a little bit afterwards. And then this is the front side. You can see I sped this up significantly faster, and I'm running that Amana CNC bit. It's like a 6 or 7 degree. So I thought this would look better. It didn't. And then we're going to come back with some Angelus dies. You can purchase that in the link below. And we're going to go with a dark brown. And I had trouble getting the stain into the cracks. I probably would have been better off just like spray painting and then sanding off the top. It was kind of a pain, more so than I thought. That's why I didn't really like the way this turned out on the top. It's that flame maple top. And just getting the stain in here was a real pain. But we're using dark brown Angelus, put it on the sides, and then we're going to do it on the back as well. A little bit smarter on how I applied it to the back. I'll show you that here in a second. Dump it on and let it get all in there. And then I remembered I had an old paint roller, and this actually worked really well. You just dump it on the roller and go back and forth a little bit, and it gets in there. Of course, now the roller is only good for dark brown, but if I'm going to do a couple of these, that's okay. You can tell the back looks a lot better here, even with just one stain color. I think if I had a ball nose bit and this pattern, it would look better. I'd have some curvature versus a hard bottom. I think that would look a lot better. So we'll go back over the back over the top, just make sure it gets everywhere. And I used a lot of stain for this. A lot to get into those grooves. And just push it in, make sure it looks right. A lot of stain on the roller. So we'll come back with my sander, and we're going to try and sand in like a scale-ish way. So we go off the center, then off the side here. That way it's not total symmetrical. It's got a little bit different of a look. Sanding helped get the edges a little bit cleaner, not anywhere near like I thought it would, but that top just does not cut it. And then we're going to come back with some yellow And you can see that hard line, which looks terrible on the left side there. Really did not like that look. There was a sort of line in the wood, and then the way I sanded it, I didn't like the way it looked. The back actually looks really good. This is an alder back, and the coloring I thought came out really nice. So we're going to sand a little bit of the front, a little bit more. There was sort of a grain line, darker spot running through there, and it really looks terrible. So once I resanded, came back with a little bit more yellow, and then I had to come back with a little bit more brown to try and get it to wash out. Was not doing what I wanted it to do, but at least it's cleaned up a little bit better. But I think just using a solid piece of wood like the alder back looked really good. I came back with a little bit of black to try and hide that line. It didn't work all that well. And then here we're trying like a gray mesh pad to try and lighten up a couple spots. That's not really working. So we'll come back with some 000 steel wool. That doesn't help. And you can see I'm trying to get it into the specific pattern around that line. It's not great. But we'll go back live in video here. So if you've made it this far, you're an awesome viewer. I'm actually going to give this one away. Put in the comments like I want that or something along those lines, and I'll pick out one of you guys and I'll give it to you. It still needs the output jack drilled and the neck holes, but if one of you want to experiment, my fail is your gain. I hate throwing this stuff out, and I figure someone would really love to play around with this a little bit more, especially if you are cash strapped. I know I was starting out, so just to pass along the goods to one of you guys. It's been sealed with sanding sealer, so if you want to sand it off, it won't kill your sander, and you can try something else. But thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.